All
We
right, people. Our last review of the day is going to be for the film Bugonia. Bugonia is a movie directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Yorgos Lanthimos, people might know him from such things as Poor Things, Kinds of Kindness there, The Favorite, Critical Darling, Yorgos Lanthimos is there. I love Poor Things a lot. It was one of my favorite movies of the year when it came out there. I thought Kinds of Kindness, we did a review of that last year. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a little bit of maybe of a step down from Poor Things there, but Poor Things, I mean, it was winning all these awards, doing super well. They're hard to kind of repeat that with that, but I thought it was somewhat interesting here. And he's got another little interesting movie out right now called Bugonia. What is Bugonia about here?
Mhm.
Well, in the movie, you got Emma Stone, who's this huge pharmaceutical CEO there. She girl bossed all the way up to the top. There, she runs this powerful kind of major company there. And is it pharmaceutical or is it like just like a
No,
bio?
it's a pharmaceutical specifically.
Yeah, pharmaceutical, okay. And then so yeah, and she's this super wealthy, powerful woman there. And then one of the people that's works in like a factory of hers there, shipping there, just packaging boxes there under one of her companies. You have Jesse Plemons who plays Teddy there. Who Teddy has this idea that his CEO of the company he works for there is an alien. Um, and he kidnaps her, shaves her head, which is a cool thing they were doing with this movie. If you were like, I guess, some influencer or something like that, critic who got to see this movie early, you had to have shaved your head to go see the movie. There, so they were kind of doing that with it. But yeah, he kidnaps her, shaves her head, and holds her against her will to make her tell him that one, that she is an alien, and then where is her spaceship? Where is it? What's the aliens' plan for the human race? And then accompanying him also, he has his cousin in this is his first movie. I think this is his acting debut here. You
Mm.
have Aiden Delbus there, who plays Don there, who's in this. Um, yeah, and then so you kind of have that in there. This movie kind of delves into a lot about conspiracy theories, misinformation. Those are kind of the main kind of concept of this movie, just humanity in
Yeah.
general there. Yeah,
Uh,
that's what were your thoughts, Begonia?
well, this was originally a 2003 South Korean film called Save the Green Planet. This is a remake of that. Uh, Pretty much the same screenplay, same story, same black comedy thriller aspect to it. Very absurdist. I think everyone gives a strong performance. I think everyone's it. This is. I'm just going to say this before anyone goes into this movie. This is very much a absurdist kind of a movie. This is very
Mm,
well. The movie trailers give it off as being much more of a thriller, and there are thriller elements in this movie, but it very much is a black comedy. A lot of elements of this is meant to be satirical, making fun of. There are, of course, the tense moments in it. And then it has an ending that completely throws everything that was in this movie out and has an absurd ending that, contradicts everything that was built up to that point, all the tenseness. It doesn't remove it completely, but it does throw it out, which I think The I think I can't believe I'm saying this, the South Korean one, I think did better treating the tenseness, or at least treating it a bit more seriously, and then completely also threw it all out for the ending. The ending for both are very similar, so if you're it I don't wanna spoil too much with this movie,
yeah.
because the less you know about this movie, the better, but just go in knowing it's very, it's not what you expect it to be,
Mm,
and that'll be for some people. Others, it won't. I will say for a Yorgos Lanthimos movie, I can see exactly why he was attracted to this movie. This is very much up his alley of weird, slightly existential, but also comedic tone that he has done with a few of his movies. But he also takes a lot of the thriller aspects from Killing of a Sacred Deer and certain, I think
Favorite.
yeah, The Favorite, I was about to say, yeah, The Favorite. So he kinda combines all his different stuff for this, because this movie requires a very tiptoeing of the line between comedic moment, but also, "Oh, yeah, no, horrible things are happening in this, and you gotta treat that seriously," but then also to have one of the craziest what the heck ending on that and just go, "Yeah," and just kinda shrug, and that's the end.
Mm, yeah.
Where that I think it worked a bit better in the original because it had those darker elements and they were a lot darker. You kinda could feel that tone a bit better. With this, it kinda treats this more as a thriller, so when that ending happens, you just kinda go, "What?" But it's still there. The elements of it are still there. What did you think about it?
Yeah. So like I said, with Kinds of Kindness, which was like an anthology film, so it was like
Yeah,
3 stories in kind of one movie there. I thought it was all right. Like I said, it was a little bit of a step
yeah.
down from coming off the amazing Poor Things what he did with that one. But I still think it had some good comedy in it, also some dramatic stuff going on in it, the weirdness we've come to expect from Yorgos Lanthimos. And then with this one, the Begonia, um, I like it better than Kinds of Kindness there for me. I think it had good strange moments, in there, and like I said, kinda has that good bite to it as far as the like, yes, terrible things are happening because there's some horrific things in this as well with this, but there's also slightly, you know, dark comedy moments in this that are also work really well and what's happening there. His frequent collaborators, I mean, we've seen now that he's worked with them 3 times in a row now, Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, in the movies there from Poor Things On. They do a really great, in this
Mhm.
as well there. And the playing in this kind of absurdist type world there. And the movie really plays with, is she an alien? Is she not an alien?
Yeah.
Like putting you kind of in that shoes of what Jesse Plemons' character is, who is this, typical kind of guy when you imagine crazy kind of conspiracy theorist guy, lives in the middle of nowhere, he's with his, cousin there, and he's got this greasy hair. He kind of works a little bit of a low level job there, and how he's just kind of just sucked into this world. And especially since, we hear tons of stories about that all the time of people who, get sucked in these online like pipelines, and then they start, going from moon landing was fake all the way up until, inject yourself with bleach, all the way up into that. So it's just like that pipeline. He kind of represents that in this, and I thought that was kind of very good there that it plays with that. And how do you think the movie dealt with a lot of the themes of kind of what it was talking about? Do you think it handled? We just talked about the movie After the Hunt, where we just feel like that we thought that they handled the themes very
Mhm.
in a sloppy manner. Do you think this does a better job at executing what it was trying to say?
I think in some ways it does, but I think in other ways, I think in order to make up for those themes, it leans far more into the, as I said before, thriller elements. But when it comes to the comedy, it's more in the body language and the slapstick. I wouldn't even say slapstick, but just in a like, oh, and you're collapsing. Oh, and this scenario happens, or like a really awkward laugh will come in. A lot of his awkward laughs because this movie's built on awkward tension and tension built on paranoia. But then there'll be some genuinely kind of like quirky black comedy elements to it that kind of have levity. And it's a very difficult thing to do. This is a very difficult kind of movie to make because if you're not precise in any way of this, then this whole movie falls flat. And I think for the most of the movie, I think works fairly well. There's some missteps, of course, but I think he does the best he can with it. And I think if there anyone was going to do this type of movie, Yorgos was like the only one.
Mm. He was the only one can get as weird.
Yeah,
Is the
pretty much. This
yeah.
movie is weird. And the if you think this one is weird, we'll see the original one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of him. I don't want to just to be kind of racist because I'm thinking of him because it's Korean and it was a Korean movie there. But I feel like Bong John Ho, he could probably have done a really good. version of this.
He's unique in that sense that he probably could. He's made The Host, and he's, of course, did Parasite. I think he's also he's one of the individuals who could, but outside of that immediate, yeah, film industry in South Korea, there's a couple of like South Korean directors who could do it as well. But I'm talking outside of that in main Hollywood. Yorgos is like in quote unquote Hollywood. Yorgos is like the only one
Mm,
that could get as weird as this needs to be if you're going to do a script adaptation of this work.
yeah. So I did like that. I did like where it went there. And you can't, I was talking to there's some people who, I came out of the movie with and they go like, that was a weird fucking movie, wasn't it? And they're like, yeah, I mean, and say, hey, that's a good movie. It's like I didn't think that, that was the case of what happened at the end, that was going to be the end. And I think that's a sign of good. Sometimes, people watching a movie and go like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen at the end. And it keeps you, anticipating what is going to happen and keep you invested the whole way through. And I think this movie does a good job at that, and keeping you invested in that way. So I did very much like that about that, as well there. And like you said, it's best to go in this movie cold. You know what I mean? Not know many things about it there. Hell, don't even see this review before you see the movie. Just go to the movie if if you can. If you see some people talking about it online, maybe just go like, hey, don't look at a trailer. Just go straight to the theater and go see it there. I think it works best for that experience. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this a lot. I'd give it a strong tune in for myself. What about you?
Yeah, actually, overall, I'd probably say this is a strong tune in because, again, all those elements have to work, and I think he did a solid job. I think I actually enjoyed this more than I did. I'm definitely gonna. I definitely enjoyed it over his last one, uh, kinds of kindness.
Mm,
I think he hits the balance a bit more on it, and it's more absurdity. Uh, I overall the movie itself, even the original one, wasn't super partial towards, but I think for what the screenplay he was going to adapt, I think he did a very solid job doing and adapting it in his style, still having his style, but adhering to it. And I think that's the hardest thing to do is adhering to someone else's work, but also making it creative in your own spin as well.
mm, yeah. So, high tune in from me?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna just I'm just gonna give it a solid tune in. I think it's a solid tune in.
Mm, okay.
I'm gonna echo you.
Alright. I think this has been the most positive we've felt about a movie
Yeah,
this
I think this may be the most positive we've been about a movie.
yeah, we closed it out on a W. We closed it out on a good
Yeah.
one. So 2 good tune ins for
Yeah.
Begonia,
If you
out
see
right now.
nothing else, if you see nothing else this lineup that we had, Smorgasbord, I would recommend, yeah, go check this one out along and if and I hope Shelby Oaks goes to Shutter and they give it a nice spotlight. But if you get it and you can get it and a quick showing of it, I think you'll at least enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. Um, Also there, and so, Ari Aster was at one point, he's a producer on this. You think Ari Aster could have directed this? He's a producer.
Oh man. Maybe primetime Ari Aster probably could have done this.
Mm, yeah. So yeah, that was our review of Begonia.
Mhm.
And somebody told me what that meant. I didn't know what the title meant, but somebody informed me of that. There with it. Did you already know what it meant?
Um, once I kind of saw, I watched the original one and then saw Bugonia. I had a guess of what it meant.
Mm, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't look it up before. Look it up afterwards. It'll explain the title more
Yeah.
because it kind of spoils things.
Don't want to get spoiled.
Nah,
Nobody wants spoiled milk. Nobody
nope,
wants
nope,
that.
nope.